Hello and welcome to Klose Training. I'm Günther Klose, the Executive Director. I appreciate this opportunity to tell you all about Klose Training and the power of lymphedema certification. Let me take time and do two announcements before I get started. This presentation is all about lymphedema certification. And while anyone and everyone is welcome to watch, it is geared to therapists who are interested in becoming lymphedema certified. And number two, if you have any questions or comments about this live stream, please email them to info@klosetraining.com or simply use the contact page on our website. So with this in mind, let's begin. What does it mean when we say the power of lymphedema certification? I strongly believe that lymphedema certification can change lives. Not only the life of your patient who is suffering from lymphedema, but your professional life as well. Lymphedema certification should be part of every physical therapy and occupational therapy curriculum. Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be quite enough time to incorporate the full lymphedema certification into the core curriculum of physical therapy or occupational therapy training. Now, nevertheless, the feedback that we receive from our students is universally the same. Our students will say that the lymphedema certification that they received has been the most valuable continuing education program or training since they finished physical therapy or occupational therapy school. Edema and lymphedema management is also not well addressed in medical school. We interviewed a few patients. Let's hear what they have to say about it.
Yes, so I was diagnosed in 2014, but really started seeking my first help when I was 13, so it'd be 29 years ago.
I had two cancer treatments, and the second one is when they took out a bunch of lymph nodes, and after that time I was starting to get minor swelling in the leg, and at that time nobody really knew what was causing us, I guess.
Going through my treatments after the chemo and the surgeries, they didn't really tell me about lymphedema.
And every time that we would go to the doctor would say, you know, exercise more, you've got heavy legs.
And the doctor was a new doctor, a very young doctor, and he knew exactly what it was. But unfortunately, he said, here's a diuretic and that's all you do.
Physicians want to go ahead and prescribe a strong diuretic such as that when they see swollen legs that are oftentimes attributed to congestive heart failure.
And they sent her away saying, well, you've got fat people legs. That was the doctor's exact words. And
I might have lymphedema, and I said I might have lipedema. I said, but you're the medical professional, so I said, I've just been doing research online trying to figure out what's going on with me.
I did all this research, I printed the articles, and I took them to my doctor. And when I first walked in, and I said, I'd really like to talk to you about lipedema, because that's sort of the direction I had gone with my research. And he said, you must mean lymphedema. And I said, no, lipedema. And he says, well, that doesn't even exist.
The terminology that was used, chronic lifelong illness, came from a physical therapist, not a medical doctor, not the surgeon, not the oncologist, a physical therapist.
They just kind of blew it off as insignificant, like it was really no problem, but it really is a problem. It's a daily problem we have to live with.
29 years with the prescribing of the diuretics and everything else. Rarely did a doctor look at my legs.
They need to be either taught the basics of what lymphedema is or a thyroid condition, and if not, send you to the right person. Just don't shrug your shoulders and walk away.
Shouldn't I be seeing someone as a follow-up? You know, like I've got primary lymphedema as a diagnosis. It seems like I should be following up with someone. Like if I had heart issues, I'd go to a heart doctor. I have primary lymphedema, and there really isn't anyone that I can go to, and that drives me crazy, actually.
Now, after watching this, you might ask yourself, what does it have to do with my profession? Well, fact is that these patients are referred to physical therapy and occupational therapy services for an evaluation and treatment. And these patients rely on your expertise. They rely on you to be that resident expert to manage their edema and or lymphedema. I would like to give you two patient examples. One of a recent patient who received physical therapy specifically for his bilateral lower extremity lymphedema for over a decade, with no success. It wasn't until that patient was referred to a certified lymphedema therapist who initiated proper lymphedema therapy, which included manual lymph drainage and bandaging, that patient's lower extremity lymphedema responded rather quickly. Now, this is a patient on intake. Remember, he had already been in therapy for over a decade, almost 12 years. And here is the patient 3 weeks after initiation of proper lymphedema therapy. The change is not only remarkable in terms of size, but his skin integrity has vastly improved, and the overall health of the tissue is much better. And he continues to make great progress. Now his wife is asking, rightfully so, why this treatment wasn't offered to her husband much earlier. I hope you agree that it is inexcusable that patients like this one would not get the proper care from the beginning of their diagnosis. Here's another example of a patient who has benefited from lymphedema certification. He is an upper extremity breast cancer related lymphedema. Let's take a look at Ed's story.
We were in Texas visiting our children for Thanksgiving and the holidays, and his arm and his hand just swelled up.
My arm had swollen to almost twice the size.
And it was very concerning because we had no idea what was going on and what the problem could be.
Neither my wife nor I knew anything about lymphedema, and not knowing what it was, we were told to go to the emergency room with a possible blood clot.
A trip to an ER eased our nerves because we knew then it was not a blood clot, and they informed us it was lymphedema, which was a result of his breast cancer and his lymph nodes being removed.
The ER doctor had told me that there was a simple way to get rid of it, which was in air.
They simply told us to wrap his arm and to massage it. Well, of course, that didn't work.
The procedure that I really needed, we didn't learn until after we got back to Colorado. And fortunately, the therapist I got had been trained through the Klose Training, and she immediately, when she saw how bad I was, began doing the massage and moving the fluid through the body and then finally into the arm. And it just took a lot of work on her part and with my wife helping to get myself under control.
Being directed to Klose Training has been a lifesaver. It has made it more livable because we know what to do and it is working for him and making his life and mine more comfortable than knowing that there is something that can be done that will help.
Why should you receive your lymphedema certification from Klose Training? This is perhaps the most frequently asked question here in the office, the question that my staff has to answer. And I think it's a fair question. Now, I have to admit, we had a little fun with that. And we came up with the top 10 reasons why therapists should choose Klose Training for their lymphedema certification. Let's take a look. Number 10, you will receive personalized attention from the time of first contact. Number 9, we have the most experienced lymphedema therapy instructors in the field. They are all practicing PTs and OTs with patient contact on a daily basis. Number 8, you will have the same instructor throughout your certification training. Number 7, we maintain a strong relationship with the Förde Clinic in Germany, where we teach an annual English-speaking advanced and review course. Number 6, our curriculum is always current and well-balanced between theoretical and hands-on lessons. Number 5, our visually dynamic online lessons are the most engaging available. Number 4, our physician's lecture is taught by Dr. Kathleen Francis, who is one of only a few expert lymphedema physicians in the United States. Number 3, our training prepares you to take the Lymphology Association of North America, the LE&RN exam. Number 2, exclusive for Klose Training graduates, we offer a section on our website that is packed with valuable information, including treatment videos. And because every physical and occupational therapist should have the tools to safely and effectively treat patients with edema and lymphedema, here is our number 1 reason for you to choose Klose Training for your lymphedema certification. At Klose Training, you will receive the best lymphedema certification available. Do I need to say more? Pretty convincing, isn't it? Now, before I sign off, please allow me to take a few minutes. I would like to take you on a tour through our office and for you to meet my staff. So why don't you come with me and we'll take a tour. So here we have Laura Page. She is our administrative manager. And Laura, tell us what you do for Klose Training.
Well, my most important function is to be the first one to answer the phone and welcome you to Klose Training. Beyond that, I'm a little bit of a jack of all trades here in the office. I do a lot of the editing, I do the bookkeeping, I coordinate some of the hotels that you might be staying at when you're at the courses, and the list kind of goes on and on. But again, my most important function is to welcome you to Klose Training.
Thank you, Laura.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Here at this station, please meet Lisa Conroff. She is the Director of Operations here at Klose Training, and I would like for Lisa to give us an idea of what her role is here at Klose Training.
Sure. My favorite thing to do is to welcome you to our classes. I market all of our classes so you know it's available, and I provide support to you from the time you register through certification and beyond. I schedule our classes across the country and around the world, and let you know what's available to you. We look forward to welcoming you to a class soon.
Thank you so much, Lisa.
Thanks, Gunter.
And at this workstation, I would like for you to meet Corey Arthur. He is our full-time videographer and web specialist. And Corey's going to take a minute to tell you what he's doing for Klose Training.
Most of my time is actually spent on the other side of the camera, so I'm definitely a little out of my comfort zone here right now. So yeah, I do a lot of the video work for online courses in the home study module, and I make sure the website is always as up to date as possible. And yeah, just trying to help make your experience here with Klose Training as seamless as possible.
Thank you, Corey.
Thank you.
So right here underneath Lisa's desk, we have Rocky, also known as Rocco, and he's our security dog. He's our watchdog in the office. Hi, Rocky. And last but not least, I would like to introduce Margaret Van Cleef. She is our administrative assistant. And Margaret, why don't you tell us what your position is here at Klose Training?
Okay. I do all the online registration and the certificate generation for the online and LTC classes. But my most important job is to bring a treat for our company watchdog, Rocky, so he doesn't eat me.
All right, cool. Thank you so much. So now, since you met all of the staff here at Klose Training, I want to give you a quick glimpse at my office. That's my home away from home. And finally, I'm going to take you back to our studio and show you our green room. So at the end of our tour, I want to show you perhaps my favorite room in the entire building. That's our studio. And you can see that there's no windows. It's completely soundproof. And this is where we tape all of our online lessons. Behind me, we have our green screen. You can see I need to be a little careful and mindful, because if I wear a green shirt, oh my gosh, it happened. I disappeared. But it's also a good way to lose weight. Or my all-time favorite thing, and the dream of every 10-year-old Harry Potter fan, is my invisibility cloak. Okay, here I'm back. And seriously, this is a room where much of the magic happens. That's where Corey can put me on any kind of like backdrop. And as you can see, I always wanted to be on Machu Picchu. And you will see in our online lessons that they are full of graphics, full of animations that will help you to be engaged and learn. I can wait for you to try out some of our home study or our continuing education online lessons. So with that in mind, Corey, can you take me back to the conference room? Wow, I don't know about you, but this flying stuff makes me dizzy every time. I hope you had fun watching. I invite you to take a few minutes to visit our website at klosetraining.com or give us a call at 303-245-0333. I highly recommend for you to watch Stephanie's story, Living with Lymphedema, on our homepage to witness firsthand the power of lymphedema certification. Thank you for watching.